Hey, my friend, thank you for this question. I need to preface it with a few things first. First of all, racism is alive and well in the Mormon Church, even today. It is taught and believed that the Book of Mormon is the cornerstone of the church. And in the Book of Mormon, Joseph Smith taught about a people coming to the Americas from Jerusalem, and these people were white. But when some of these people chose wrong and went against God's commandments, God cursed them with a dark skin. But when they chose right, God would let their skin be white again. And we were taught that these dark-skinned people were the indigenous people of the Americas. And even though this has been completely debunked by science, DNA shows that the indigenous people are not from Jerusalem. They're from Asia. This is still taught every day in the Mormon Church. And I was taught this from a very young age. And it is something that I will never forgive the Mormon Church for, in teaching me to be racist. It is this teaching that has never allowed me to look at someone with a different colored skin than white as someone less than me. That because I'm white, I am chosen. I am more favored by God. This is ridiculous. I don't even believe in God anymore. But what a horrible thing to teach a child. Now, I'm 52, and I don't think some of these things are taught anymore in the Mormon Church. They've had to do some backpedaling. But as far as the Black people, when I was young, I was taught by my parents, Sunday school teachers, seminary teachers, and at the pulpit that the Black people were cursed with a dark skin because of things they did before ever coming to earth. They weren't as bad as the third of the hosts of heavens that became demons, but they were close. So God cursed their skin so when they came to earth, life would be harder for them. That's why they became slaves in America, because God wanted it that way. God made it so their lives would be hard enough that they would have to keep choosing God over all their hard things, kind of like Job. And the white people weren't going to have to go through as much. And we're taught this is all coming from a loving God who loves all of his children. These are highly racist and damaging things to teach children. And I don't know how Mormon apologists can even come close to turning this around. And I don't like it at all.
The church has successfully recruited among black-skinned Polynesians from the islands of Fiji.
I wasn't a member when we came over, and then I would take lessons from the elders, and I came to think about it, and I knew that this was the true church.
We have Polynesians in every phase of church here in the islands, and in Salt Lake there's some Polynesians that are in high positions in the church.
No matter how dark-skinned they may be,
It has nothing to do with Polynesian race, why they're entitled to every benefit that the church has.
But some black-skinned people are not able to achieve full status in the Mormon Church.
In this day, as in ancient time, there are some who have not been given the privilege at this point of holding the priesthood of the church. Among those who do not have this privilege are those of African Negro ancestry.
The term priesthood requires some definition because this church has no professional clergy. Religious leaders are laymen, all males. At age 12, they are eligible for membership in the priesthood. Joining the priesthood is more important for Mormon boys than a christening for Catholics or a bar mitzvah for Jews. Young priesthood members serve communion, and only priesthood members can advance to positions of higher religious leadership. You cannot be a woman or a so-called Negro. Mr. Ashton, what is the church explanation for the exclusion of blacks from the priesthood?
I think I can perhaps best answer that question with this statement issued by the First Presidency of the Church on December 15th, 1969, and I quote, "From the beginning of this dispensation, Joseph Smith and all succeeding presidents of the church have taught that the Negroes, while spirit children of a common father and the progeny of our earthly parents, Adam and Eve, were not yet to receive the priesthood for reasons which we believe are known to God, but which he has not made fully known to man.
Any change would come in a revelation through the church president.
From the Lord Jesus Christ.
I'm Epe Lilingeri. I come from Suva, the capital of Fiji. Joining the church has given me a great chance for me to love my neighbors. With the true love of God in this church, we have been able to be united as one.
Ironically, there are several thousand so-called Negro members of the Mormon Church, despite its policy regarding the priesthood. Many years ago, the Mormon Church ended its sanction of polygamy when outside pressure became intolerable. It is possible that eventually the same thing could happen to the church position on race.
I believe that Satan has a hold of you. I believe that the Lord God has sent me here. And I believe that in 1978 God changed his mind about black people. Black people, you can be a Mormon.
A leader in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints has received some backlash after comments he made at a youth fireside in Alpine on Sunday. Brad Wilcox was talking about questions he sometimes gets regarding why the church's priesthood was withheld from black men.
How come the blacks didn't get the priesthood until 1978? What's up with that, Brother Wilcox? What, Brigham Young was a jerk? Members of the church were prejudiced? Maybe we're asking the wrong question. Maybe instead of saying, why did the blacks have to wait until 1978? Maybe what we should be asking is, why did the whites and other races have to wait until 1829?
In 1829, church founder Joseph Smith said he received the priesthood from apostles Peter, James, and John.